My name's Scoots and I play Pokemon.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Scoots, coach of the Mississippi Morpicos, and this is my draft analysis for the first season of the YCL VGC division. And yeah, I just want to start by saying thanks for having me. Big thanks to Rager Bonsai and Tiger VGC for accepting me into the league. Really looking forward to it. Some big guns playing it, big guns. Let's start. I don't really do draft analysis very well, so bear with me. I'm very forgetful with why I actually drafted things. But let's start. Start off with Incineroar. I wanted a mon with some good utility. Also hits really hard. Does things like fake out, parting shot, will-o-wisp, and with VGC, utility is like key in a lot of situations. Like, you can have a really hard hitting mon, but if you haven't got the right utility behind it, then it's not really doing too much. So some good. I think Incineroar. Well, Incineroar is also the #1 used mon on the Pikalytics website as well. So I think it was a safe bet. Second, I wanted some Tailwind. Now my go-to for Tailwind is normally Tornadus, but being in tier 1, I thought it was expensive just for Tailwind. So I went with Talonflame. Talonflame getting Girl Wings makes Tailwind priority when it's at full health. So this was a tier 3, so two tiers cheaper, and still has the same job. Also gets Will-O-Wisp and can hit hardly like Dual Wing Beat and Flare Blitz. It does double up on my fire type, so I'm pretty rock weak right now, so Rockslide is spammable. Also the next pick, Earthquake, is quite spammable, but I'll kind of cover that up like later on. Eternatus is my third pick and my restricted mon. I really like Eternatus. I'm currently using Eternatus now on the ladder, and it's doing really well. So I went with this. It does stuff like it hits really hard, and you can run a multitude of sets on it. It gets recovery. It gets Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam Power Herb is really strong. It's a set I'm using at the moment, and it's kicking ass really. It's really kicking ass. So I went with this, and I've fought Eternatus in the past, and I've struggled with it. So I figured, fuck it, I'll draft it. Next up, covering that ground weakness is Rotom. Also that rock weakness, I can hit rock a lot. I outspeed a lot of rock types with Rotom. So I thought this was a really safe bet. It gives me some Volt Switch action as well. It gives me Ally Switch. Ally Switch is really strong in this matter. It makes it a bit more of a prediction game as well. Once they see Ally Switch, they're going to think, is he going to click it again? And I thought I likely will, let's be honest. It's such a fun move to use, and it really annoys opponents. Next, I got Sylveon. Sylveon, I wanted a Fairy type. And Hyper Voice being a really good spread move. That's the main reason. Like, with Mystical Fire, can hit Steel types now, which is really handy, and lowers special attack. Anything you can nerf in VGC is really nice. So Parting Shot's nice, Mystical Fire's nice, and this can actually function really well under Trick Room as well. If I run a minus nature, I can also run a Room Service. So I'm like dropping my speed by 1 stage. So I'm probably at like base 45 with a minus nature and 0 IVs. Or probably I don't know. I haven't done the maths yet. Aegislash was my steel type that I wanted to pick up. Aegislash doesn't really do a whole lot in VGC, but it gets Wide Guard, and Wide Guard's really good against like things like Earthquake and Rockslide and like Water Spout. It's really good against Water Spout, and which is good actually because I've faced Kyogre on week 1, so it's gonna be handy. Surf also and Dazzling Gleam. There's a lot of reasons why Wide Guard is much more usable now than it was with Gmax. There's no Gmax allowed in this league, so Wide Guard's nice. It also gets good setup. It's can drop attack with King Shield, so that's handy too. Gets good priority, and yeah, that's basically 8 slash. Right. Next up, I drafted Reuniclus. Reuniclus is a Trick Room mon. It can set up Trick Room. It can function well under Trick Room. Gets a lot of coverage, like a lot of coverage. Gets good setup too. Also Ally Switch. I really like Ally Switch. But it can get Trick Room. It's got enough bulk to set up a Trick Room. It's got not just for Reuniclus, but for a couple other mons I've got coming up, and Sylveon if I choose to run a what do you call it, room service set. But yeah, Reuniclus is just a strong one in general. Hitmonchan, I need a fighting type for steel types basically, and rock types. Dark types I'm not actually that scared of right now, but it gets good priority in Bullet Punch and Mach Punch. Like Iron Fist sets, let Mach Punch hit extremely hard. I say extremely, it's not massively extremely, but it hits relatively hard on a lot of things. Next, Greon, Trick Room mon. Greon I drafted because I only had like a few points left. I was tossing up between a lot of mons in the lower tiers, and Greon didn't really stick out, but I figured it could fit well with a Trick Room core. Like Cheek Pouch is a really good ability for it as well. I don't really know what Greon does. I should have looked up Greon before I started recording, but yeah, I got Greon. Greon could be fun. And last one is Glalie. Glalie was also just saying because I had like little points left, and I want to say it can like really help with dragons and grass types. I guess I already deal with them pretty well, but Glalie was also because I had little points left, and my general rule of thumb is take the most overpowered stuff you can in the bottom tier, and Glalie was there, and I just took it. Like, it gets the Ice Shard, which is nice, and it can explode on things. Like, it can just blow up. But that is my team. If you took the time to watch this, I really appreciate it. Hit subscribe, drop a like, all of that, and I will see you for week 1 when we take on, let me just check, should have done this way before, we take on the mediocre Mudkips and Coach Furet Bang. He's got a scary ass team. He's got Tornai, Ferrothorn, Kingdra, Raichu, Torracat, Weavile, Gothorita, Marowak, Stoutland, Shedinja and Kyogre. So that's a tough. I looked at the matchup a couple of days ago and sort of got an idea of what I want to bring, kinda. But yeah, this has been my draft analysis. Hopefully it went a lot better than my previous ones, because my previous ones have sucked. But yeah, thank you very much, and I will see you for week 1 in a bit.